Hello everybody, welcome to the Belgian Grand Prix. Sergioperez at the head of the field for the first time in quite a while. Max Verstappen has to take second best behind Checo there. And then Ferrari in third and fourth. Sainz ahead of Leclerc, who continues to struggle in qualifying. Used to be his forte, so a difficult season continuing for Leclerc. Alonso stills in the fifth place in the Alpine. And Mercedes, following on from their Hungarian nightmare, they just seem to have lost all sort of motivation and push. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, 6th and 7th, and there wasn't really any spark there. So, is this going to continue for the rest of the season, or will Mercedes be able to get back to pace? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but that's not looking too promising. Ocon in 8th, Norris and Ricciardo 9th and 10th, so McLaren, at least in terms of performance, back ahead of Alfa Romeo, but Bottas lurking there in 11th place, so not too far off. Gasly 12th. And the AlphaTauri. Mick Schumacher this weekend, it seems to be going wildly between the two Haas drivers at the moment. One weekend Magnussen is comfortably quicker, the next weekend it's Mick, and he is the one who is comfortably quicker this weekend. Guan Yu Zhou, Sebastian Vettel, Nico Hülkenberg all behind, and then Kevin Magnussen in 17th. Alex Albon, he will start in 18th from the Williams. They just can't get qualifying right at all. Apart from that one race, I think Albon qualified well up in the top 10. Can't remember which one it was now, Miami possibly, or Spain. But other than that, they are still struggling with their qualifying pace, but their race pace isn't too bad. So Albon and Tsunoda will hopefully have a decent race, and Lance Stroll will line up right at the back. So here we go then. Well, normally the cliche goes that Rolex is being stolen, but Rolex is stealing the Red Bulls from us right now. We cannot see them. We'll have to wait until the lights go out to see them. And there they go now then. And Perez is away well. Verstappen was hoping to have a look, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And Alonso, look at the start. Alonso's made. He's passed the two Ferraris, and he's passed Max Verstappen. That is stunning. And one of the Mercedes is in between the Ferraris as well. So a dreadful start for Ferrari. I think that's George Russell who has got ahead of Charles Leclerc. Fernando Alonso, though, he's got something to fight for. I get a feeling he'll be defending Max Verstappen rather than attacking Perez, but he'll try everything he can to hold on to this position. We know that he is a master of defence, Fernando Alonso, but can he argue against the Red Bull? The answer has to be no. Well, at the moment he's defending well, and George Russell still holding on his position ahead of the Ferrari, and Lewis Hamilton has dropped back. I think he has just repassed Estebanocon after briefly losing that position to the Alpine. And there's Max Verstappen going inside Fernando Alonso. Alonso has no argument for that one, because that Red Bull just simply plainly quick, and Verstappen now can set about his teammate Perez, but Alonso is staying with them right now, and Sainz is in that battle as well. So not a Red Bull walkover, but they are in control, and they will hope to remain so now that they have repassed Fernando Alonso. George Russell, he's still in 5th place, and then Charles Leclerc in 6th. Lewis Hamilton trying to get up onto the back of them. At least Mercedes look to have some sort of motivation in the race today. They managed to split the Ferraris, which is not saying much considering that the mid-season Mercedes have had, but they seem to be a real confidence team this year, don't they? And the confidence they got from the double podium in Monaco led to them being competitive for quite a while, and now the lack of confidence after the disaster in Hungary appears to have affected them here. There's still battles going on though. Verstappen on Perez, and Alonso almost get a chance to have a look back at Verstappen, but that was through defending with Sainz and almost chopped Sainz's front wing off. They're getting quite brutal with each other into that last chicane, and there's Hamilton now being able to have a look at Charles Leclerc. That's his teammate for next year, remember, but Leclerc, in the process of defending, goes like Alonso almost did with Verstappen at the chicane, goes hard into La Source and passes George Russell and puts Mercedes back in the 6th and 7th positions. So Perez continues to lead. Will he hold on? This is his chance. He hasn't actually lost a massive amount of ground to Max Verstappen in the championship. He's still within a win, 22 points behind. This would cut it to 15 if he could win this race today. And Sainz going for it, and Alonso, and they touch very much so, and both go off slightly, but Alonso holds on. He is prepared to be very, very aggressive to defend that podium today, Fernando Alonso. It's a chance he hasn't had much this season, and we know the Alpine has fallen off the pace a little bit recently, so it's a chance he may not get again. But look at Alonso now. Clearly he has looked after his tyres better, because he's now on the tail of those two Red Bulls. Maybe he could cause a little bit of a shock. The two Ferraris, they're sitting behind, but they now are starting to drop back. But Fernando Alonso is the guy giving Red Bull a hard time. And we've seen this before this season. We haven't seen it for a few races now, though. Fernando is really strong this season. Whatever the maximum result that the Alpine can get on the day is, Fernando will take it, except in Monaco where he bumped his front wing off. But otherwise he's really going for it, Fernando. And yeah, he's looking great, although now they get onto the high-speed stuff and he's back under pressure from the Ferraris again. Final corner, will Perez hold on? Verstappen has the final look, and he can't do it, and Alonso goes over the curbing a little bit to try to finish position. Hamilton having a little look at George Russell, but a largely anonymous race, and that's the engine going to one of the Ferraris. Will he make it across the line? He should do. He does. That was Sainz, I think. He's been passed by Leclerc, I believe. Yep, Sainz has been passed by Leclerc, and there the results confirm that. So, Sainz having an issue with the engine right at the end of the race, but it doesn't affect him. So, he still gets the point. So, here we go. The finished result for this Grand Prix. Sergioperez in the Red Bull wins the Belgian Grand Prix and closes the championship gap to Max Verstappen. And as soon as the Mercedes drop out of prominence, Perez comes back to it. So it's clear that they have different skill sets that suit different scenarios. Max Verstappen finishes in second place today, doing all he can to continue his advantage. But it's Perez, I think, who has won the most races this season now, moving one ahead of George Russell again. Alonso, and Verstappen, I think, has won 3 as well. Alonso, he comes in third place. Very good performance, great start. Actually got up to second, dropped behind Verstappen, but then held the position, and very good performance from Fernando Alonso, deeply impressive. And Charles Leclerc, he finishes fourth, past Sainz in the closing stages of the race. Sainz in fifth place, George Russell sixth, Lewis Hamilton seventh, Estebanocon eighth. Valtteri Bottas manages to get past both of those McLarens. They're really struggling in race trim. Apart from the early season, Baku has been the only standout moment for McLaren. They're really struggling, and Lando Norris only brings home a single point in the end. So let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship then. Max Verstappen on 207 now, Sergio Perez on 192. So the gap is 15 points. George Russell on 146, Hamilton on 144. But those Mercedes, who were hoping to have a little outside shot at the world title only a couple of short races ago, now look very much buried in third and fourth, but certainly under threat of being passed by the Ferraris rather than moving upwards towards the Red Bulls. Sainz 5th on 132, Leclerc 6th on 127, Alonso 7th 111, Bottas 8th on 71, Norris 9th and Ocon 10th, both on 55 points. Then you've got Vettel, Gasly, Stroll, Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher, Zhou, Magnussen, Albon, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg and Latifi. So, constructors-wise, Red Bull 399, Mercedes 290, Ferrari 259, Alpine 166, Alfa Romeo 86, McLaren 77, Aston Martin 53, AlphaTauri 37, Haas 34 and Williams 13. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please feel free to give a like and subscribe, and take care.